Hi, my name is David P. Shapiro. I'm the owner and managing partner of the law office of David P. Shapiro, located in San Diego, California, where my firm helps good people regain control of their future when charged with a crime. And one of the ways we do that is starting at the first court appearance for a lot of individuals charged with a crime, and that's known as their arraignment. And I want to, in this video, talk to you about what you could expect for your felony arraignment in San Diego. Whether your case is located in downtown San Diego, whether your case is located in Chula Vista, in North County up in Vista, or in East County in El Cajon. You know, some similarities, some differences for a state court case in San Diego County, and I want to go through those with you in this video here today. Starting first with downtown San Diego. Downtown San Diego, if you were charged with a felony, your first court appearance, your arraignment, will almost always, if not always, be in Department 101. And the purpose of arraignment, whether you're downtown or anywhere else in the county, is really twofold. It's one, to be informed of the charges against you and your constitutional rights that you have, and it's to enter a plea to those charges. And then secondarily, it's what's your bail status, right? What's your custody status? Are you out on bail? Is bail going to go down? Is bail going to go up? Is bail going to stay the same? Is bail going to be set, assuming you have not posted bail yet? So that's, generally speaking, what we're dealing with an arraignment. But what will happen is, at your arraignment, if you're downtown San Diego, you will then have your next court date will be a week to about 2 months, give or take, and that'll be up on the 11th floor of the courthouse in Department 1101, 1102. Know, even as your attorney, what department we're going to get sent to until the day of your arraignment. Then we'll be able to say, okay, we're now in Department 1101. This means we are likely going to be before this judge for settlement discussions or for status discussions, or 1102 or 1103. And sometimes it makes sense to plan your strategy according to where you are getting sent. A lot of times it does. And there's the value of having a quality, locally experienced criminal defense firm representing you. So at my firm, we could tell you, okay, the judge in 1102 likes this, the judge in 1103 likes this, the judge in 1101 will get upset with you if you do this. And if you have someone from Orange County come down, or Los Angeles come down, or Riverside come down, or whatever, who's not, or even San Diego, if they're not familiar with handling felony cases in downtown San Diego, well, you're going to run into problems, right? Because they're not going to know what to expect. They're not going to know judges' pet peeves. They're not going to know ways to maximize your chances at success if resolving a case is in your best interest, if negotiating a case, if getting the dates that you want, trying to control as much of the situation as possible. You're going to be at a disadvantage unless you have a locally experienced law firm that knows the ins and outs of that courtroom, knows the ins and outs of that courthouse, and knows what other judges are out there and what other options you may have. So at your arraignment, 2 new dates are going to be set. Readiness conference on the 11th floor and a preliminary hearing. It's like a probable cause hearing. Is there enough evidence for the case to go forward? I always refer to it as like a Reader's Digest or a Cliff Notes version of the entire case. That's the second date that'll be set. That always set after a readiness conference, and could be anywhere from 10 court days all the way to 3-4 months down the road, depending on the severity of the case, depending on your attorneys, depending on district attorney's schedule, calendaring, so on and so forth. So that sums up downtown. Start in 101, wind up on the 11th floor, 1101, 1102, 1103, and then back down to 102 to start your preliminary hearing if the case gets that far. Now let's go down to the South Bay in Chula Vista. Chula Vista, your first court appearance is going to be Department 12. That's where your arraignment is going to be on a felony case. From there, you'll have a readiness conference set in Department 14. Unlike downtown, where there's 3 options, South Bay, you're going to Department 14 for readiness. In all likelihood, you know what judge will be there, because that judge is there for all intents and purposes for a year or 2, or sometimes even longer, until they finish out their term, so to speak, in that readiness conference department. And the second date will be set. Preliminary examination will start out of Department 16. That summarizes South Bay Courthouse in Chula Vista. If you go east San Diego County, your first court date on a felony is going to be in El Cajon. And your felony arraignment in all 3. Years ago, it used to be Department 2. Now it's Department 3. And from Department 3, you'll go ahead into your not 2, at least before a preliminary hearing, will be in Department 2, and then your preliminary hearing will start at least out of Department 11 if the case gets that far. And I say Department 2 before a preliminary hearing because once in a while you may have the option to have your post-preliminary hearing after you've already had your preliminary hearing. You get another readiness conference. You might be able to do that in Department 11. That depends on the case, the age of the case, the seriousness of the case, and admittedly, if there's some strategy to get it back in Department 2 or to get it out of Department 2 into Department 11, depending on the prosecutor, depending on the judge, depending on a lot of things that, again, only a quality, locally experienced criminal defense firm will be able to know and advise you accordingly to protect your rights, protect your freedom, protect your future. Now, if we go north, pretty much from Del Mar, the racetrack area, up to the Orange County and a little northeast from there, your first court appearance is going to be in Vista, and that's going to be in Department 14 in Vista. And from there, your first readiness conference, a couple of weeks, couple of months out, is going to be in Department 6, and then your preliminary hearing will be out of Department 5. At least that's where I'll start if the case gets that far. So that's your case is going to be heard out of on a felony arraignment, and then what's going to happen next as far as at least the 2 new court dates, a readiness conference and a preliminary hearing. Readiness conference is not the judge to talk about the case. Do we need more time? Do they need more time? Does the court need more time? Are there additional items that attorney or for mitigation information from you about your case may be? And then the preliminary hearing date is sort of that miniature trial. Is there enough evidence for these charges to stick? Testimony is taken. Not all testimony, not all witnesses, but sort of a very condensed version of the entire case. And you're present as the criminally accused, as the defendant. You're sitting there next to your attorney while he or she is cross-examining witnesses, making arguments to the court to try and minimize or completely get charges dismissed moving forward. So I hope this video is a little bit of a primer of 2022 into 2023. Felony matters, where it starts, where you're going to go, what those department numbers mean. And the underlying premise of this video, the underlying tone of this video is make sure, this should come from your attorney, from your law firm that you hire. This should be second nature for them. It shouldn't be, I don't know where you're going to get sent. I don't know who that judge is. I don't know, what the chances are of us getting to this department versus that department. If there's a lot of hesitation, that likely means that the attorney is either not from San Diego, or if they're from San Diego, quite frankly, they're not in court enough, or their firm isn't handling enough felony matters to, in all likelihood, where they should be trusted handling yours. So if you have any questions about felony cases in San Diego, you can always reach out. My firm is more than happy to help you out. 619-295-3555. Again, David Shapiro, San Diego criminal lawyer, 619-295-3555.